నాకు వినిపిస్తుందా?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yesterday I completed the rating of the motor, some problems, and next topic is types of loads. So next one is the types of loads. Generally, I will draw a diagram. Load in kilowatts. Load in kilowatts. Okay. Now this is the time in seconds. Generally, this is the period of load cycle. Okay. Now generally selecting a motor in addition to the information of load, speed, torque characteristics, the variation of load torque, losses and temperature rise with time is also needed. Now in case the load and torque versus time variation periodic and repetitive, such one cycle of variation of load, 1 second, some network problem is there. Okay, now while selecting a motor, in addition to the information of load, speed, torque characteristics, and the variation of load torque, losses and temperature rise with respect to the time is also needed. Now, in case load and torque versus time variation is a periodic and repetitive, such cycle of variation of load with respect to the time is known as a load cycle or a duty cycle. Now, this is a Now this one is the load cycle or a duty cycle. Okay, the various types of loads that occur in industrial practice can be classified into different duty cycles or load cycles, and classification of loads with respect to time. Classification of load with respect to the time. Now, first one is continuous and constant loads. Continuous and constant loads. Generally, the loads on the motor operate for a long time under the same condition. That is called continuous and constant loads. Okay, the loads on the motor operate for a long time under the same condition. That is called continuous and constant loads. Examples: fans, compressors, conveyors, okay, centrifugal pumps, etc. Okay, it is continuous and constant loads. The loads on the motor operate for a long time under the same condition is called continuous and constant loads. Examples: fans, compressors, conveyors, centrifugal pumps, and etc. And second type is continuous and variable loads. Continuous and variable loads. Okay, continuous and variable loads. The load on the motor operates repetitively for a long duration but varies continuously over a period. That is called continuous and variable loads. The load on the motor operates repetitively for a long duration of time but varies continuously over a period. That is called continuous and variable loads. Now, example: lathe machines, metal cutting lathe machines, hoist winches. Okay, similar conveyors also comes under continuous and variable loads, and etc. Okay, now third load is pulsating loads. Now pulsating loads. Okay, now the load on the motor which can be viewed as a constant torque superimposed by pulsations, that is called pulsating loads. The load on the motor which can be viewed as a constant torque that is superimposed by pulsation. Okay, now examples: frame saws, etc. Okay, now examples: reciprocating pumps, crankshaft, frame saws, etc. Okay, and next one is impact loads. Okay, the load on the motor having regular and repetitive load peaks or pulses. That is, load increases to a maximum level suddenly. That is called impact loads. Okay, the load on the motor having regular and repetitive load peaks or pulses means the load increases to a maximum level suddenly. That is called impact loads. Examples: rolling mill, shearing machines, etc. Okay. And next one is short time short-term intermittent loads. Short and intermittent loads. Okay, the load on the motor occurs periodically in identically duty cycle, each duty cycle having a period of application of load and rest. That is called short time intermittent loads. Okay, the load on the motor occurs periodically in identically duty cycle, each duty cycle having a period of application of load and rest. That is called intermittent loads. Okay, example: hoisting mechanism. Okay, the load on the motor occurs periodically in identically duty cycle, each duty cycle having a period of application of load and rest. Okay, examples: roller trains, hoisting mechanism, and etc. And next one is short time loads. Okay, next one is short time. The load on the motor occurs periodically, remains constant for a short time, and then remains ideal or off for a long duration of time. That is called short time loads. Okay? The load on the motor occurs periodically, remains constant for short time, and then remains ideal or off for a time loads. Examples: servo motors, motor generator set, these motor generator sets are used for charging the batteries, drilling machines, etc. Okay, is some loads with respect to the time. Okay, now next one is now classification of loads with respect to the duty cycle. Classification of loads హలో
హలో
అన్న నేను 10:30కి కలుస్తాను నేను
సార్ ఓకే థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్ ఇది ఇంకొకటి సార్ ఇప్పుడు
సార్
వచ్చారా మీకు వచ్చారా
వచ్చాను చెప్పండి లీటర్లు కావాలి సరే 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 ఓకే నేను 10:30 తర్వాత కలుస్తాను మొన్నటి సేమ్ టైంలో మనం అక్కడ కూర్చున్నావు కదా అక్కడ నాకు క్లాస్ ఉంది క్లాస్లో ఉన్నా నేను సరేనా Okay, man. Next one is classification of loads with respect to the duty. Loads with respect to duty cycle. Okay, classification of loads. There are three basic classification of duties of an electrical motor. There are duty cycle, short time duty cycle, intermittent duty cycle. Okay, first one is continuous duty cycle. Second one, short time duty cycle, and third one is intermittent duty cycle. Okay, first one is continuous duty cycle. Generally, the continuous duty cycle. Now, continuous duty is the duty okay. Now, in the continuous duty cycle, that continuous duty is the duty when the on period is so long that the motor attains a steady state temperature rise, and the motor is so selected should be able to withstand overload capacity. Okay? The motor is so selected should be able to withstand momentary overload capacity, and this type of motor will have high efficiency because they will operating almost its full load and also have a good power factor. Okay, there are mainly two types of continuous duty cycles. First one is continuous duty cycles with constant load cycle, and second one is continuous duty cycle at variable load cycle. Now this is a constant duty cycle with constant load cycle. Okay, now the continuous duty with a constant load cycle, the load torque remains constant for a sufficiently long period of time. Okay, examples: conveyor belts, compressors, fans, etc., in which continued duty is a constant load curve. Okay, and next one is continuous duty cycle is variable load. Now this is the P1 load, P2 load, P3. Now this is the load in kilowatts, the time in seconds. Okay, now in continuous duty with variable load cycle, the load on is not, but it has several phases in one cycle. Okay, the selection of motor for this type of duty involves the thermal calculations. Okay, the selection of motor for type of duty involves the thermal calculation, which is a difficult task. The motors operating for such tasks will have poor efficiency and poor. Okay, generally the motors operate under continuous duty cycle with a constant load torque. It is a high efficiency and a high power factor. Now the motors operate under continuous duty cycle is a variable load having poor efficiency and factor. Okay, and the selection of motor for this type of duty may be based on average power or average current method. Okay, and second method is a short time duty. Okay, now the time is the time t1. Okay, type of duty, the load occurs. Okay, in this type of duty, the load occurs on the motor during a small interval and remains for a long time to re-establish the temperature of the cooling medium. Okay, in this type of duty, the load occurs on the motor having a small interval and remains ideal for a long time to re-establish the quality of the temperature with a cooling medium. Usually, such type of short-time duty occurs in generally bridges, lock gates, and some other household appliances such as mixies, etc. Okay, and next one is intermittent duty. Intermittent duty cycle. Now this is the T on, this is the T off. Now this is the duty cycle. Okay, load in kilowatts. Now this is the time. Okay, generally the duty in which the load on the motor varies periodically in a sequence of identical cycles. This like, okay, the duty in which the load on the motor varies periodically in a sequence of identical in which the motor is loaded for sometimes, that is on condition, condition. Okay, the motor heats during the on period condition, that is T on, and it cool downs during the off period condition, that is T off. The ratio of T on to T off is known as a duty ratio. Now duty ratio is equal to T on by T on plus T off. Okay, that is intermittent duty. And next one is a load equalization. Generally అసలు ఎందుకు లోడ్ ఈక్వలైజ్ చేయాలి? Generally the load fluctuations takes place in many of the industries like drives such as rolling mills, printing presses, okay, and reciprocating pumps, etc., where the load on the motor varies widely with a span of few seconds. Okay, the sudden and peak load requires a very large current from the supply, results high voltage drop in the system, or alternatively would require a very large size of cables. It is very essential to smooth out the fluctuating load known as a load equalization. It's a very important question. 2 marks question lo compulsory vastundi. What is load equalization? Okay, the load fluctuations takes place in many of the industrial drives such as rolling, printing presses, and reciprocating pumps, where the load on the motor varies widely within a span of few seconds. The sudden and peak load requires very large current from the supply, results high voltage drop on the system, or alternatively would require a very large size of cables. Okay, it is very essential to smooth out the fluctuating the load is known as a load equalization. Okay, the load equalization involves the storage energy during the off period condition and it gives out the during the peak load period. Okay, the load equalization involves the storage of energy off period condition and it gives out during the on period condition or peak period condition. Okay, and this load equalization process is commonly actuated by using a flywheel. Okay, generally a flywheel. Load equalization process is commonly actuated by using a flywheel. This is a small flywheel. bigger flywheel. Okay. Generally, the load equalization process is commonly actuated by means of a flywheel. A flywheel is nothing but a big wheel that is mounted on the same shaft of the motor. Okay, the flywheel is nothing but a big wheel that is mounted on the same shaft of the motor. If the speed of the motor is not to be reversed, or a heavy rotating body that acts as a reservoir for absorbing and redistributing stored energy, that is known as a flywheel. Okay, generally the load equalization process is commonly actuated by using a flywheel. A flywheel is nothing but a big wheel that is mounted on the same shaft of the motor. If the speed of the motor is not to be reversed, or a heavy rotating body that acts as a reservoir for absorbing and redistributing the stored energy, that is known as a flywheel. Now, to operate the flywheel efficiently, the driving motor should have a drooping speed characteristics. Okay, to operate the flywheel efficiently, driving motor should have a drooping speed characteristics. Models of flywheels, but that is one small flywheel and bigger flywheel available in the market. During the light load condition, the acceleration of the flywheel is increased and it stores the kinetic energy. Okay, now at the time of peak load, the flywheel slow downs and the stored kinetic energy is given to the load, so that the demand of from the motor or supply is reduced. How it works? To operate the flywheel efficiently, the driving motor should have a drooping characteristics. During the light load conditions, the action of the flywheel increased and it stores the kinetic energy. And during peak load conditions, the flywheel slow downs and it stores the kinetic energy given to the load, so that the demand of the load from the motor or supply is reduced. Generally, it is necessary to the motor used for load equalization should have a drooping characteristic. The flywheel is not used in the motor having constant speed. Okay, for example, a synchronous motor, the torque developed by the motor and the load torque requires as well as speed variation with respect to the time. That is look like this. Now generally this is the speed with flywheel. Now this one is speed without flywheel. Okay, it is necessary to that the motor used for load equalization should have a drooping characteristics, and the flywheel is not used with the motors having the constant speed. For examples, synchronous motor. The torque developed by the motor and the load torque requires as well as the speed variations with respect to the time. Look like this. Now this is a motor torque. Now this one is load torque. Okay. Now let us consider a flywheel is attached to a variable speed motor to achieve load equalization. Okay. Now let us assume or let us consider a flywheel. Flywheel is attached to the variable speed motor to achieve load equalization. Now let us assume here TL is the load torque. TL is the load torque. Okay, it is assumed constant. Load torque is assumed as a constant, and TL is the load torque in Newton meter, and Tm is the motor torque in Newton meter. Okay, and Tf is the flywheel torque. And Tf is the flywheel torque in Newton meter, and T naught is a no load torque in Newton meter, and W naught is the motor speed on no load condition in radians per second, and omega is the motor speed at any instant. Motor speed at any instant in radians per second, and J is the momentum of inertia of flywheel. Momentum of inertia of flywheel in kgs meter square. Okay, TL is the load torque, Tm is the motor torque, Tf flywheel torque, and T naught is the no load torque, W naught is the motor speed on no load condition, omega naught. Omega is the motor speed at any instant, J is the momentum of inertia. Okay, now what is a motor slip? Now slip is represented with S. So S is equals to W naught minus W, that is equals to motor slip. No load speed minus speed at any instant. Now I am taking case 1 here. What is the case 1? So let us consider the load on the motor is increasing. During this period, the flywheel will deaccelerate and impart its stored kinetic energy into the load. The torque required to supply the motor is equals to, that is Tm. What is the case 1? Let us consider the load on the motor is increasing. Okay, during this period, the flywheel will deaccelerate and impart its stored kinetic energy into the load. Okay, the torque required to be supplied to the motor is equals to Tm equals to TL minus Tf. This is the equation 1. Okay, the motor torque is equals to load torque minus flywheel torque. Okay, and the kinetic energy given by the when its speed used from W naught to W is the kinetic energy given by the flywheel when its speed reduced from naught to W is equals to kinetic energy equals to half J W naught square minus W square. Now we can write half W naught minus W square, W naught plus W, W naught. Now we can write naught plus W, W naught minus W. Okay, we can write W naught plus W by 2 is nothing but a, let us assume W naught plus W by 2 is W, and W naught minus or omega naught minus omega is equal to S. Okay, now substituting the equation, now we can get kinetic energy is equals to J omega S. Now this is equation 2. Okay, now the power given out by the flywheel, now the power given out by the flywheel is equals to the rate of change of energy, the rate of change of energy given out by the flywheel. The power given out by the flywheel is equals to d by dt J omega S, J omega ds by dt. Now this equation 3. Now the flywheel is equals to now the flywheel torque Tf is equals to power given out by the flywheel by omega. It is J omega ds by dt by omega. So omega omega cancel, J into ds by dt. Now this is the equation 4. Now substituting the equation 4 in equation 5, or we can get substitute equation 4 in now equation, that is Tm minus Tm equals to TL minus Tf. Now the equation 4 in substitute in this case, we will get Tm equals to TL minus Tf. So TL minus what is the Tf is J into ds by d. That is equation. Okay. Now if the slip, that is drop in speed, it is limited up to 10%, then the slip is proportional to the motor torque. Slip is proportional to motor torque, that is equals to S is equals to, we replace this K into Tm. Okay. Then Tm equals to TL minus J into ds by dt. Okay, TL minus J into ds by dt. Now substitute S value here, TL minus J into d into what is S, K into Tm by dt. So Tm equals to TL minus J into K into dTm by dt. Okay. Now TL minus Tm is equals to J into K into dTm by dt. So dTm by TL minus Tm is equals to dt by jk. Now this is the equation 6. Okay. Now integrating this equation, integrating the equation 6, integral of dTm by TL minus Tm is equals to integral of dt by jk. So we'll get minus log base e TL minus T is equals to T by jk plus c, where c is the proportional constant. At t equals to 0, the torque will is equals to the no load torque. So, where C is integral constant at t equals to 0, the motor torque equals to no load torque. Okay, t equals to 0, the motor torque is equals to no load torque. That is t equals to 0, Tm is equals to T naught. This is equation 8. Now the value of C can be determined by using the initial conditions. Now substituting the equation 8 in equation 2, substitute equation 8 in equation 7. So minus log base C TL minus T naught is equals to T equals to 0, JK plus C. Okay, now we'll get C value. C equals to minus log base E TL minus T naught. Now substituting the T, substitute C value in equation 7. What is equation 7? Minus log base E TL minus T naught. Now plus log base E TL minus T naught. Okay, is equals to minus T by JK. In direct వేసేసాను. Okay, actually minus log base E TL minus TM minus log base E TL minus TM is equals to T by JK minus log base E TL minus T naught. So I can write minus log base E TL minus T naught plus log base E TL minus TM is equals to minus T by JK. So log A by B, log A plus log B equals to log A minus log B, log A by B. So TL minus TM by TL minus T naught, that is equals to minus T by JK. Okay, now applying the exponentials on both sides. So applying exponentials on both sides, that is TL minus TM by TL minus T naught is equals to e to the power of minus T by JK. So TL minus TM is equals to TL minus T naught e to the power of minus T by JK. Now this is the case 1. Similarly, case 2. Case 2 is nothing but a now consider the load is totally removed or decreasing. The motor starts accelerating and kinetic energy is stored by the flywheel. Okay. Now case 2. Now consider the load is suddenly removed or decreasing. The motor starts accelerating and so the kinetic energy is stored by the flywheel. Okay. Now motor torque is equals to Tm is equals to T naught plus Tf. Okay, Tm equals to T naught plus Tf. Now this is the equation 1. But Tf is equals to minus J ds by dt. Now this is the equation 2. Now substitute equation 2 in equation 1. Now substitute equation 2 in equation 1. We will get Tm is equals to T naught minus J ds by dt. Now this is the equation 3. Now we know slip is directly proportional to Tm. Now Tm is equals to T naught minus J into K into dTm by dt. So minus Jk dTm by dt is equals to Tm minus T naught. Okay. Now dTm by dt or dTm by Tm minus T naught is equals to minus dt by jk. Now integrating on both sides. Now integrating on both sides. Integral of dtm by tm minus t naught is equals to minus integral of dt by jk. So log base c tm minus t naught is equals to minus t by jk plus c, where c is the integral constant. The value of constant can be obtained by substituting the initial conditions t equals to 0, tm is equals to tm1. Okay, the motor torque when the load is decreased. tm1 is nothing but the motor torque when the load is decreased. Now log base c tm minus tm1 minus t naught is equals to, substitute t equals to 0 by jk plus. Now c equals to log base c tm1 minus t naught. Okay, now substituting this c value here, log base c tm minus t naught is equal to minus t by jk plus log base e tm1 minus t naught. Okay, so log base e tm minus t naught minus log base e tm1 minus t naught is equals to minus by jk. Okay, now log base e tm minus t naught by m minus t naught is equals to minus t by jk. Now applying the exponential on both sides, tm minus t naught by tm1 minus t naught is equals to e to the power of minus t by jk. Now tm minus t naught is equals to tm1 minus t naught e to the power of minus t by jk. So motor torque is equals to t naught plus tm1 minus t naught into power of minus t by jk. Okay, this is the equation. Flywheel calculations, flywheel acceleration without acceleration. Okay, can I put your attendance in the chat box?